have a question for you guys. What are you doing if your Ring doorbell goes off and you see these bunch of heathens at your door in hoodies and such? What's the move? You're gonna open your door, see what they want? Maybe they're selling Girl Scout cookies or like...
Is it Halloween?
No, it's just a random day.
Bust out the blicky, man.
Yeah? Shumbo?
Yeah, Second Amendment on this one, man. I'm not opening that door.
Not opening the door? Okay, well, you know, that's kind of what happened, except his brother did open the door, however, and his brother was getting a case of the beats, and, you know, he sees his brother getting beat up, and he's been waiting his whole life for this moment, and Travis Rudolph decides to go to the bedroom and pull out the little rifle, start blasting. It was 30-something shots, I believe.
39.
39 shots. Almost hit 40. Damn, he should have got that one more off. But no, yeah, the only mistake he made is he didn't kill all 5. He only killed 1, injured 1. But he just beat that case.
Yeah. It sounds like he used the extended magazine. And like you said, almost fired every shot out of the... I don't want to say the word clip. That's inappropriate. Out of the magazine.
It's not inappropriate. It's just wrong.
It's wrong. That's right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. He beat that case because you can't just go and punch somebody on their front porch, which is what I'm assuming is why he won that case. But it wasn't him that was getting punched. You said it was his brother, right?
His brother was getting beat up, and then he came and got it. And the girlfriend...
So that's what started this, right? The girlfriend. Him and the girlfriend, right? They argue.
The girlfriend who was also married to someone else at the time. And not only that, she went through his phone, found out he was cheating, whatever, you know, it is what it is. And she texted her brother, who girls just have this thing of thinking their brother's Superman and bulletproof and such. Not the case. And she texted her brother and was like, hey, shoot his shit up, was like, I believe the quote. And, you know, they came there and then their defense was, we were just trying to fight. And then, I don't know, some guys came up to my porch dressed like that. They're getting shot. We will have the t-shirt, the screen printing company on speed dial. Shirts ready by 12.
In all seriousness, it seems like he won this off of self-defense because they came to his home with the intent to beat him up and or kill him. And so them saying, we came there to beat your ass, is still basically the same thing as saying, like, hey, we're here to cause you great bodily harm. And so he just protected his property.
But the text said, shoot his shit up. It didn't say, come beat his ass.
And that's probably a key piece of testimony right there, then.
Do you guys believe that he deserves some kind of reparation for this? He was in jail for 2 years awaiting this sentencing.
I mean, I think his legal fee should be paid.
Not only that, but also he was on the practice team for a NFL team. And I would assume after this he doesn't have that. It might have to get a normal job. I mean, he'll probably get paid for some interviews and such, but like...
So you're saying that this has affected his ability to make money?
Yeah, I think so.
I agree. I think he has a case as far as that goes. It's coincidental that the brother didn't get shot. He did give the testimony in court. So maybe he's the one that they'd get the money from? He's the one that came down there to,
Or that trifling bitch. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. Women need consequences. Stop acting a fool, you fucking bitches. Damn it. Anyways, I hate how the legal system doesn't punish women properly, but I think she should go to jail or prison too. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Any closing statements on this one, guys? Any thoughts?
Honestly, I would have done probably around the same thing, especially being outnumbered and knowing that they were there specifically to cause me bodily injury. You know what I mean? It was 4-2?
It was
him and his brother?
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, 4-2. I'm going to arm myself and everything else. Now, the court case after the fact does suck. And him, he was incarcerated, right? Or was he just
he was on house arrest?
Yeah, all of that does suck, but it kind of seems par with the course whenever it comes with any kind of gun violence. You know what I mean?
I do want to say one thing, that there was a lot of talk about why he was put on house arrest instead of just let off on a, kind of like stand your ground or self-defense kind of thing. It's because he left the home and pursued the vehicle and then fired off the 39 shots. That's where the court case, in my opinion, came from, was they were trying to figure out whether this was an act of, because you could hear the lore, he's like, the murder starts when self-defense stops. So he was trying to argue that as they fled, they were fulfilling their duty to flee, and that's when Travis Rudolph came up.
Don't be pussy. Finish what you started, bitch.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, he was defending his property. I still stand by that. But the reason that he went to court was because he went inside, got the rifle, and then came back out. And then when you watch the video, you can see him come into the street.
Yeah, honestly, it was in Florida. It should have just been a free body. Anyways, let us know down below in the comments what you think. Should this have been a free body? Did he deserve to go to prison? Let us know in the comments below. Should his stuff get paid for? Who knows?
So next up, we have a man that was arrested for touching butts.
Against people's will, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and that's Fox News saying that. Touching butts. That's their verbiage.
What kind of butts?
I don't think it's going to get into the description of said butts because that has no relevance.
I mean, that's true. What did he get charged with?
So the person that did this, his name was Silas McFarland. He was 19 years old, and he's from the city of Paragon. He was charged with sexual battery, a level 6 felony, and battery, a class B misdemeanor.
I have to ask, does that mean he was spanking him? Because it says battery.
I think battery is just any type of unwanted physical contact.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Does it say how long he might be held?
It does not say how long he's being held, but he is being held in the Monroe County Jail.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, butts are nice, but get some consent in there.
Do you know what's weird about this is there's no like context. It just says man arrested after repeatedly grabbing butts in Bloomington.
I don't know. As I don't know.
What's the context? Was it a butt showing contest? Was it like
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm just asking. Like, what's the context? Like, how do you just end up in a situation where you're constantly grabbing butts? What's the context? Where were they?
I don't know, man. I'd like to think that, dude was probably just drunk, but I'm not making excuses for the man. There's no excuse for what he did, right? What he did was wrong.
Even the title of the article is man arrested after repeatedly grabbing butts. You think it would just be like sexual assault at said concert or butt showing contest?
Anyways, I think we're done with this one. Thank God another sexual predator is off the street.
Yeah, I guess, thank God.
I don't think there's butt showing contests.
So there's wet t-shirt contests, but not butt showing contest. I find that audacious. I find that disrespectful.
So next up,
Hypocritical.
what we have is actually another subject that's not related to touching butts or a
Sad.
butt showing contest, but I don't know if that exists. Let us know down below if a butt showing contest actually exists. This one has to do with YFN Lucci, and he said no to a plea deal that was going to let him serve 17 years and then 3 years on probation. And he's looking at, I believe, life for what kind of charges does he have, Shumba? I believe one was accessory to murder or something along those lines.
He was charged with felony murder, and he's also involved in another RICO case because they're alleging that he's part or associated with the Bloods.
Would you turn down a plea deal for 17 years?
I mean, he's going to be mad respected in there. I mean, I don't know. 17 years, his rap career is over. How old is he? He's like 30-something.
His age is 32 years old.
Yeah, so pretty much by the time he's done with that, his rap career is over with, regardless whether he takes it or not. I think he just wants to go the stay in character and kind of like go by street code as opposed to like changing on everything for something that when he gets out, his whole career will be gone regardless. I think that's what his...
Let me ask you an honest question. Do you think he would have been smarter to take the plea deal as far as time served?
Oh, yeah, he's probably getting life.
Do you think he'll get a full life sentence? When you say life, how many years do you think he's going to serve?
The rest of his years on this earth.
So you don't think it's going to be 25 years?
It could be, but I mean, 25 plus 32 is what?
So in my head, it's not worth your life to follow street code.
We've already established this. You are telling on everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's foolish.
So you're against street code completely?
And I'm not against street code. I'm saying when you have the money...
This guy,
If
he's like, tell on people. Now, I'm not saying I'm against street code.
Look,
Just if you can snitch, just do that.
If
If
you
it
live-
helps you, do it.
If you live in that world, yes. But if you have the money to literally affect infrastructure, why would you follow street code?
Because he's in a gang.
But why be in a gang if you have money?
That's a good question.
Well, I would like to say he was probably in the gang prior to getting the money.
But wouldn't that be the incentive to leave the gang now that you have the money?
I don't think you could just quit.
You don't just quit a gang.
People quit relationships all the time.
This isn't a relationship.
You can't divorce a gang.
The blood gang is not just some trifling like woman. You can't just quit it. There's no just, I'm done.
Oh, well, that's how relationships like that work as well. You still have alimony. You still have visitation. You know, you can go hang out with the homies on the weekends.
So you think like you just go up to like the Bloods, the Crips, or like the Black Disciples or the GDs or whatever, and you're just like, I'm done. I don't like this anymore. I don't want to play.
Yeah, so you go up to them and you say, hey, like, this association really helped me out when I didn't have a lot of money. You guys protected me. Now that I have a lot of money, I feel like I no longer need to associate with this enterprise.
I'm sure they would take that very
Hold
well.
on. Just from hearing that, we're not in any type of gang, but I would want to do allegedly violence to that kind of person.
Okay. So my opinion is a bit audacious, but I'm just saying, if you have the money, can't you afford to protect yourself enough to get out of the gang life?
Yeah, how did that work for 6ix9ine?
He's alive.
Yeah.
He got beat up in a gym.
Okay.
I think his biggest problem is STDs from having too much sex. He also got acquitted.
So you're trying to say that 6ix9ine didn't do too bad?
Yeah, what I'm saying is this guy's looking at 17 years to life and 6ix9ine is looking at nothing. So, like, that's a horrible example if that's what you want to bring up. Like, he's fucking on top of the world. He feels like he's Batman. He's quoted himself as saying that.
I hope I don't upset you, Takashi, but what does it feel to be the richest rat in the world?
I mean, it feels pretty good. I mean, I put a lot of bad people away. I saved the world. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm like Batman at this point. You know what I'm trying to say?
You know what? Honestly, from a civilian standpoint, 6ix9ine is probably smarter than YFN Lucci. Okay, whatever. You know what? I'm defeated. Street code's stupid as fuck, honestly. Like, it just is what it is. Don't join a gang unless you're an idiot. Like,
I'll be real with you, though. If YFN Lucci was alone with me in a room, I'd be very scared because I know he's about that life. I'm like, oh, he will kill me.
Good thing he's never going to be alone with me in a room. Anyways, let us know down in the comments down below. Would you throw your whole career and rap like millions away for being a thug? Who knows? Would you tell on the gang? Was 6ix9ine a genius? Let us know.
Was he a genius?
Anyways, on the subject of gangs and stupid decisions, we have Unfunk, or however you pronounce his stupid name.
Unfunk.
He is Young Thug's brother, and he super sold Young Thug in the YSL gang up a river, kind of just admitting to they were involved in various crimes, that they're a street organization, that they've committed murders, drug dealing, et cetera, et cetera. He signed his little signature by all of that for a probation deal, right? Okay, cool. So he signs this probation deal. Well, he's carrying around the blicky. I couldn't imagine why. Like, he's afraid for his life or something for snitching, or like maybe he thinks some retaliation might happen. I don't know why he would feel the need to carry a gun on him, but he was. And he was pulled over by police. And they found the gun. Shock. So, you know, as crazy as that sounds, he goes back to court, and the judge is not happy. There's a clip of the judge kind of judging.
That's his job.
And he decided to make him serve, I believe it's 9 years in prison for the revoked prison or probation. And yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this situation?
I mean, I hate my siblings. I'd rat them right out. If they were already in prison.
Your siblings?
Yeah, you said it's his brother, right?
Yeah, it's Young Thug's his brother.
Okay. Young Thug's in prison, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, you already there?
Do you have no bounds, man?
I
don't know if I feel safe doing this show anymore.
At the end of the day, Rugburn, you might be the only person I would take the fall for. And Shumba.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him.
I'm scared.
This is where Shumba stamps 6ix9ine's face right over mine.
All right. Anyways, Mr. Treyway.
Do not affiliate me with the gang.
So,
I will rat them right out.
yeah, I mean, they let 6ix9ine in, so I'm sure Treyway wouldn't mind. I mean, what's left of them? They're all in prison. Most of them. Anyways, so how would you feel if you snitched someone out and you got right back and had to do that prison sentence after being free for like a month?
I mean, I'd feel really stupid. Why would you carry a gun after making a plea deal where you already snitched?
Why would you carry a gun? That's crazy.
It's like you're scared or like you're worried because you snitched because you were part of something that you shouldn't have been.
Are you trying to just get to moral of the story? You shouldn't do crime, or?
I mean, at the end of the day, if you got money, that's always my moral. It's like, if you got money, why?
You really think Unfunk had money?
Not money, but I don't think he was living that hard. Like, I think he has more money than me. How do you feel? I mean, at the end of the day, if you had ratted out all your friends and got out and then he got caught.
Whoa. First of all, I would not rat on my own brother. I would just take the 9 years, like, and just kind of deal with it.
How do you know this isn't some like deep-seated trauma? Like back when they were kids, Young Thug was like pushed him down the stairs.
Young Thug made him wear a dress, and
Yeah.
he never forgets it. He's like, I don't like this.
He's like, there's something wrong with you. And then, he's just internalized that for years. And now this situation has presented itself. And this is the perfect moment to be like, yeah, fuck that dude.
So, fun fact, he was actually sentenced to 12 years prison and then put on probation. And then he was just now sentenced to 9 years because of breaking that probation. So it was a total of 12. Does that change your opinions?
If my blood brother, who is making millions of dollars and has helped me not be a bum,
Is already in prison.
is in trouble, I'm not making it worse. He's worse than Gunna possibly because of this. Like,
Worse than Gunna.
yeah, because Gunna's not his blood brother. I'm not selling my blood brother up a fucking river just because, like, I'm scared to go do a little time. If I was doing the crime, I'll just do the 10 years. Like, it's not that deep. Like,
You assume a very, healthy familial relationship. That's an assumption. Like, what if what you said was true? What if Umfunk spent his early life wearing dresses and playing dress up and just being like on the pummeling end of Young Thug's aggression? I mean, we don't know that, but just to say that. Don't you think you'd be a little justified in selling him up the river if he was already up the river? If Gunna's already pulled the plug and all the information is draining out anyway, like, what's the point?
yeah, just keep adding witnesses and defendants for sure.
Nah, you're right. That's probably bad.
Yeah, it's super bad.
I can't defend that one.
Young Thug probably saved this man from being a whole bum his whole life. Anyways, ungrateful.
I'd argue he's still a bum.
Real quick, I do want to add here what the judge had said in the case. So during Monday's sentencing, Judge Ural Glanville, I'm pretty sure I butchered that, stated that Greer hadn't paid. Greer is Unfuk. So he stated that Greer hadn't paid $141.08 in probation fees or started his community service, but that the deciding factor in his sentencing was him being caught with a firearm. So even regardless of the firearm, he had already not really been doing his duties that he needed to do to even remain on probation.
The issue I find aggravating in this particular circumstances are several. You got arrested with a gun within 6 months of you being placed on probation. And I agree with the state that you're not a candidate for probation because all you had to do is just complete your probation and do what you're supposed to do. Instead, you were riding around the car with a gun in violation of your probation and what this court explicitly had conversations with you about. Explicitly. On the record. And for that reason, sir, I'm going to revoke the balance of 9 years and 6 months. And you will serve that in the Department of Corrections.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a bum. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
You can't pay $141 in probation fees. Maybe you are a bum.
Yeah, see, without Young Thug, he's a bum. Anything else to add to this one, guys?
I just feel like a rat now.
Yeah, I mean, you've been laying that out pretty solidly.
Kind of should.
Thank you.
All right, so on to the next subject. We're going back to some sexual assault stuff. We're getting off of the gang banging for a little bit because, we have 6ix9ine at the table. We don't want to get told on. So today we're going to be talking about Danny Masterson.
Good old Hyde.
Yeah.
He always said he would end up in jail instead of Eric Foreman.
What exactly did he get sentenced for?
Danny Masterson is back in the news because of the previous allegations, but now found guilty on his, we'll call it the R word. And then furthermore, call it SA. But he was found guilty for inappropriate behavior with 3 female defendants. Previously, he was tried on this, but the jury hung on the case, which allowed him to go free. But recently it was retried, and they allowed new evidence in that they previously did not allow in the first trial. So some of the evidence that they did allow in this one that they didn't allow in the previous one was the fact that the women in question, or the women were actually drugged during this incident. And previously they had said that they were only able to allude to it by saying that their memories were kind of foggy and hazy in their testimonies. But in this one, they were allowed to actually say, yes, they were actually drugged and everything else, which I think helped in him actually getting found guilty of this.
That seems like it would be something so important to a prosecution. Why would that be left out in the first case? Why wouldn't they let? Was it because they were willingly taking it, or was it something that he dosed them with?
So it's alleged that it was something that he was dosing them with. And all of this happened during the height of his fame while he was on that show, that 70s show, back in the day with Topher Grace and them.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's kind of crazy, though, at the height of your fame. I mean, there's girls jumping in the DMs. I guess DMs weren't as popular back then, but regardless,
They were T9ing you.
What?
Tech T9 on the phone.
Are you talking about the thing with the number pad?
Mm-hmm.
Like just texting?
Yeah, you just get text messages. Or you get like a pager.
You're so old sometimes, I swear to God.
I mean, this did occur between 2001 and 2003.
Yeah.
I guess this is your time frame.
Wow. When I was 14.
This is where your modern knowledge cuts right here. So I guess we should refer to you on
Rugburn. Well, you did grow up in the 70s. The show was filmed in the 90s.
Yeah, and you're still old. Just kidding. You're not that much older than me, but it is funny to clown
That's
you.
true. You was shocked.
You're an old soul.
He's 47 now.
Yeah.
And he played a teenager on a show that we all love very much. Our idols are aging. Well, he's not an idol, but the character's my favorite.
I was going to say, pump your brakes. You're talking about our idols.
Well, because
as we talk about his SA case.
Well, because Ashton Kutcher was on the show. Ashton Kutcher's an idol. Ashton Kutcher literally spends his life hunting down pedophiles now.
So another thing that was able to be brought up during this retrial was the fact, well, not the fact of, but the alleged involvement of the Church of Scientology. So the 3 victims were all Church of Scientology members during all of this, and so was Danny Masterson. What's being alleged here, and this is something that his attorneys, Masterson's attorneys, have actually been reprimanded and assigned fees for, is the leak of documents directly to the Church of Scientology found in email correspondence between the attorneys and the church themselves. And what is being alleged, at least for them, is that they were sharing court documents, including the defendant's discovery items to the church for what we don't know. That isn't quite widely reported. However, their involvement was brought up in this retrial, and that is another thing that might have led to him eventually being found guilty of these crimes.
Seems like some shady business may have been going on, allegedly. We don't want to be sued, but this isn't the first time that this has happened where allegedly the Church of Scientology has played a bigger role in prosecution. At one point, they perpetuated like the largest breach of information in history. Like they call it like Project Snow White or something, where they stole a huge amount of information and then got brought up on charges for it, went to court, allegedly. Well, they did go to court for this alleged theft. So this is not out of the realms of what they're capable of, as far as what I know.
Another important thing to note here is that the Church of Scientology themselves were not actually defendants in this trial. They weren't actually a part of this case. The only reason they were brought up was just because all of them were all members of the Church of Scientology and, of course, the alleged data breach.
Yeah. As you can tell, Pickle and Shumba are both very afraid of Scientology.
Everybody's afraid of Scientology. They are the most litigious group, like, on the planet.
Fuck them. Anyways, I think what we learned here today is don't be a gangbanger and don't put your hands on people when they don't ask you to. And, let us know down in the comments below. Do you think he deserves this? Do you think he actually touched these women? Do you think they were willing? Is this like a miscommunication? Is he a piece of shit? Let us know down in the comments below. And, give us feedback on any of these episodes, what things you would like to see in the future, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm Rugburn.
I'm Pickled Landon, hoping we don't get sued.
And this is Tombstone Tourist.